Earlier today also, more than 200 climate change activists gathered in front of Parliament, this is in Cape Town, to picket for a change in energy sources. They are calling for the renewable energy to replace fossil fuels to saving the planet. Here to unpack their demonstration further, let's speak to the Green Connection Communications Coordinator, Lisa Makaula. Lisa, good evening. Good to have you. Thank you very much for your time. It seems you are going the other direction of the energy plan that the Minister of Electricity is working on.
Hi, Thabo. Thank you for having me. So basically today we held a march, which is we're commemorating Human Rights Day. And also this march was to also just address the energy issues that we currently have in South Africa, and to just call on government to implement sustainable energy solutions and to move away from fossil fuels, because we know we're in a climate crisis and we believe that we need to take climate action now so that we can be able to reach our net zero emissions by 2050.
It doesn't seem that that's the priority at this particular point. I mean, if you're listening to the electricity minister, one is that he is gearing up the 6 units that we have. That's the trend line. They're going up. Those coal-powered power stations are going to be producing more of the electricity that we need in order to stabilize the situation. 4 out of the 5 units at Kusile are coming back on in December, and the other one coming back in February. That's the energy action plan, immediate projects that they're working on. Of course, the renewables are there, part of the pack, but are you concerned at all about the fact that they are continuing to revive these power stations and even reviving Kusile for that matter?
We understand the fact that South Africa is currently in a crisis. We've been seeing the past few months experiencing stage 6 of load shedding, stage 5, stage 4, and it's really been difficult for people. But what we want to see as green organizations is actually government putting a plan in place, and a plan that will actually showcase how South Africa is going to move to a cleaner energy future, because we believe that it's high time that we take the climate crisis very seriously, especially that we have seen a lot of natural disasters here in South Africa, especially in Durban. We have seen people experiencing severe weather conditions, and we believe that it's high time that we take action. And in as much as it may not be like a quick plan, but we need to see a plan in place and strategies being implemented where government works towards putting renewables onto the grid, and also ensuring that, you know, people's houses have got solar panels, so that we know that we are moving towards away from fossil fuels and to cleaner, sustainable energy solutions.
Yeah. What is your solution to the high cost of those solar panels? I mean, even businesses are saying we really can't afford to put these inverters and these solar panels on top of our roofs. It's just a cost that we cannot be able to carry in such tough economic times.
Well, because I'm not an expert on that, but we've got research that has been produced, you know, by people who have experience, especially when it comes to energy-related issues. And I believe that our organization as well has also held, multiple workshops around coastal communities, you know, and advising people of how actually South Africa can transition to renewable energy, and how we can actually move away from, you know, coal, fossil fuels. And I understand the fact that maybe businesses may be a bit worried that it might be a bit expensive or it's not sustainable for them. But I think it is going to be very important for South Africans to actually have those renewable sources of energy, especially solar and other sources as well, which is like, it could be like wind and everything else that could be put in place in terms of just curbing the issue currently, which is the energy crisis and also the climate crisis, because those two, like, they tend to affect one another. And we need to start acting now in order to make sure that, people live better lives, and also we try to solve both issues, which is the climate crisis as well as the energy issue.
How do you feel about the fact that our emissions targets are likely not going to be met? I mean, if you hear what the energy minister is saying, he says just transition, yes, but not at the cost of the development of South Africa.
So basically, we're not against the development. Sorry, definitely, we're not against development. We want to see our country going forward. And we've seen other countries, do putting the solar panels, which is Vietnam. We've seen their successful projects. We've seen them put solar panels and people having access to electricity while they also trying to curb the climate issues. So I don't think it will have an effect at all when it comes to the country's development. But also, we need to have a plan in place, which it's government that needs to work on that, putting that plan and implementing those strategies, working alongside with with green organizations that are there to advise in terms of how they can move forward with this transition, and also how all South Africans can benefit from this transition. Because at the end of the day, we need to tackle both issues, that is the energy crisis as well as the climate crisis. And also, given the fact that yesterday an Intergovernmental Panel Climate Change report was released, and on that report it was clearly stated that the sub-Saharan African countries need to reduce their methane emissions by 34%. And that means that if we do not do that, obviously we'll find ourselves in severe conditions, that is facing droughts, facing poverty, and we do not want to see that happening in South Africa, especially given that we're a developing country and, a lot of people don't have access to a lot of things. We depend on farming. So I think we really need to take such issues very seriously.
Lisa, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you very
Lisa
much.
Makaula, Communications Coordinator at the Green Connection.